Welcome to the Syncopator and also our fireside chat. Oh shit. Hang on. Gotta mute myself. Yes, welcome everybody. This is our first Syncopator of the year with GMI. So happy to have you all here. We got a whole bunch of things, well, some really big things to talk about here because we're gonna be kicking off the year with a trip to ETH Denver. And so we can talk about the specifics of that. And we've come up with a good idea regarding, like, I've been speaking to Jesse and Lost Local about this, about throwing a hackathon, like a 4-week hackathon after ETH Denver. So maybe we can do a little bit of brainstorming around that because we haven't really we've had some ideas around the event and attendance and setting all that up. We haven't really had a whole lot of ideas fleshed out yet around the hackathon. So maybe we can discuss that a little bit here tonight. And then we got some announcements regarding our podcasts. No Future and I, we are kind of redoing our whole podcast and bringing it back in the new year with kind of a new purpose, a new vibe, and we can discuss that as well. Let me just erase all of this. Yeah. I don't know if my Callum's going to be here tonight. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, glad to see y'all here tonight. I think the main thing here really to discuss is our trip to ETH Denver and the hackathon. And if you guys have anything else you want to go over tonight, we can do that. But I think most of our time here will probably be based on that. So so for the hackathon, we were thinking of well, we started off with the Gotchi Lodge. My Cam was able to get us some accommodations, so 6 of us will be attending the Gotchi Lodge in ETH Denver. I think it's a 9-day event. So and I think it's one of the largest like Ethereum or EVM like gatherings in the world. I could be wrong on that, but it's a very large gathering of big brain devs and a lot of talent. And so I think we have a huge opportunity here as Gotchi Gang and being associated with the Aavegotchi protocol to make an impact in ETH Denver and actually do some networking, some outreach, and maybe get some new builders on our protocol. I think would be really good for our ecosystem overall. So let me just pull up some details here. Denver. We're currently working on putting together a funding proposal for the actual event, like our attendance, and so part of that will cover like accommodations, and some of that will be equipment rentals, and then we'll have some allocations for like food and that sort of thing. But then the whole idea there is we will be like we'll be working pretty much the whole time trying to make connections, at least during the main event while we're there. And I think one of the great ideas that we had was, oh hey there, good vibes, welcome to seeing here. One of the ideas we had was to do like a coffee hour with the devs. And so Lost Local will scout out like a local coffee shop, and we can have I'm kind of curious to know what sort of ideas you guys have about this. If we were to do a coffee hour with devs, what do you see that looking like? In terms of like the activity, like will we be doing some sort of a trivia? Will we be doing like interviews? How do you see, like, what do you see what's the best way to set it up to get the most out of it if we're to do like a coffee hour?
Personally, I'd say that we should do it as a networking event. So we're inviting devs to come up where we can talk to them, interview them if we have some way to amplify and make a presentation, so that they can kind of speak out to their skills, and we might be able to then pick up people who fit within what we're doing. It'll also be good for turnout because more people will come because they see it's a networking event. They'll get some free coffee or something, but it'll look good.
Hmm. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I do see it being more of like a networking thing where we're actually able to um, like screen people in that might want to actually like build on the protocol, and maybe that could be a good place to promote the hackathon as well. So yeah, networking event. We'd be doing some interviewing there. I know Lost Local will be like looking up a cafe so that we can host it at. And then should we do like Zombie Shepherd, you said you might be you're open to doing like some sort of a music as a music present not presentation but like a set. Do you think we could work that out with maybe, I mean, we got to talk to the coffee shop, right? But maybe it could be like a legitimate event where we actually set up some audio equipment. I don't know. Okay. I've been to some funky ones, man. I don't know. It depends. No, I hear you there, man. But so then you're gonna be packing though, because you'll have your guitar stuff, and then you'll also have your like your DJ stuff.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I'm gonna be driving also, actually. No, I'll be driving down also, and it's also about 20 hours from me where I'm at. So we're kind of just both coming at from different directions, but like the distance is about the same. So I'll have a vehicle there. You'll have a vehicle there. So that actually takes care of a lot of our transportation stuff. Because I think we'll be able to fit at least the GMI Lodge members between two vehicles if we're to like I don't know like the proximity of our Airbnb to the actual event. That's
It might be wise then to maybe do a GMI Lodge rental. So instead of people putting miles on, that could be part of the budget, like a 9-day rental of a car so that we can get around. Because when I was in Miami, a big part of like my reimbursed cost were taking Ubers because I don't drive and there's a lot of equipment. The other thing I was going to say is for the coffee venue, I'm assuming, Hefe, you're coordinating with Lost Local, correct? On the picking of the venue?
Yeah, we talked about it. He says he's looked at a few cafes around there, and there's actually quite a few cafes around the venue. So I think he's going to do some outreach and get that figured out.
Okay, I would just want to stress that if we can, as a minimum requirement, can we try to get a cafe that is internet capable? And if they're
Mm.
internet capable, the second level of it would be Ethernet capable. Because if we can do that, I can stream the whole thing the whole time.
Oh,
But
yeah,
if
that
it's Wi-Fi, it gets spotty. But if I have Ethernet, like a direct in, we are fucking set. So if there's a modem, I'll bring a 100-foot long Ethernet so I can run it to anywhere. But if we have that, then we'd be able to cover the event in real time, like easily.
This is awesome. I think that's a really good point.
Yeah, because
And
if we do this right, like Zombie was talking about bringing one of his cameras, I'll probably bring two of my cameras. If we have the appropriate number of tripods and HDMI cables, there's no reason we can't run a live stream with like 4 or 5 cameras, plus like whatever else we want to do to make it all fancy and shiny.
sick. Yeah, and I see Mike Callum saying, or Zifa is saying Mike Callum will have his truck there too. So we will actually have some transportation, but I'm also on board with like let's figure out what a rental would actually cost theoretically, and there's a possibility we can include that in as part of our budget.
Yeah, that'd
So
be perfect. Because if we get like, we just need to make sure that we have good internet at the lodge and at wherever this event is. Because if we do, then we're set for streaming and constant video content. Like we could theoretically throw up a stream that's a 24-hour stream of the common area in the lodge and just have it go the whole 9 days. Like seeing people come in and out, building, working, doing whatever.
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't want someone like Coder Dan watching me take bong rips and stuff, though. I don't
Well,
know.
don't do it on the common area. We're not going to be doing that. Remember, don't write that into the proposal.
Yeah, okay.
We're going to be good gotchis.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, after dark, we don't know what happens, right? It's all good. Once the show, once the venue closes, it's all good. But, yeah, we'll be boots on the ground for that. So possible car rental for the week. What else did you say? Oh, you said maybe a streaming area. That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, and then like in terms of the coffee spot, you're looking for like their internet, like if they have Ethernet, and then a sound system for Zombie. Because if they have a
Oh,
PA system, then all he has to do is bring in whatever he needs to plug into their PA. But if like, if it's just if there's no PA, then we need to be able to rent, monitors, and I'll have most likely a 4 microphone Allen and Heath board with me, unless Zombie has something that can handle that. So we'd be able to run like that's what I did in New York. I was able to run the whole sound off of my board. So if we need that, we should be good. But it's good to know if we need the monitors, like if we need speakers.
yeah. My Callum says he's planned an ETH Denver adventure. Zifa, you got any more on that? Got any more alpha? Oh, okay, okay, got it. Oh, this is looking good. I added the PA sound system. I added the Ethernet cable, internet capable. Y- You know, one of the things that works out to our benefit here is we're doing all this right now, and Las Loco can start reaching out to the cafes, and we can have all this planned beforehand before we get there. And so we're not scrambling at any point. Like I don't want this. It sounded kind of really stressful the way you were saying it. No future from the last your last couple experiences, and I think we have some time here to like try and make this as enjoyable as possible still while hustling because I know it's going to be a hustle anyway. So
Yep.
all right, so we got the car rental, we got the Los Local Cafe. We were talking about getting some representation in terms of like what we're gonna wear there, right? Do we want some kind of like a team branding, like team merch, or something that just says like Gotchi Lodge or Aavegotchi on it that we can all wear? Like could even be just like a shirt.
In New York, we had the I Gotchi New York shirts that we all wore with the black hats. It was a black shirt, black hat. So if we can get something weather appropriate, like that would be dope. Um, yeah, something that honestly, I would love to see 2 different levels of merch if they're willing to do it. One which is like the crew level merch, where it's like stuff that says, like Aavegotchi crew or GMI street team or whatever the hell. And then the general merch. Because in Miami, the merch arrived late. We didn't get it there for the main events, like the stuff that we would hand out. So we have that taken care of. If we can, ideally 2 level, team merch and then general merch. And then merch we should consider it's beyond just clothing. Stickers, stuff with QR codes pointing them to the Fakeotchi website, anything like that, including GMI stuff. We've also talked about, little details like mic flags. So like I have interviewer mics and they take flags, so we can get printed up like GMI stickers so that when someone's doing an interview, it says GMI or Aavegotchi on it. Those little things.
No, you're right. That creates more of a presence. And regarding stickers, we were thinking about maybe getting some artists, like fake gotchi artists, or just creative people within Aavegotchi to maybe get someone to make some stickers. Do we have some, I don't know, some people in mind that we might want to, or should we make this more like a contest? Because we have enough time here that we could run like a 2 week ETH Denver like sticker like artist contest. So like artists could submit their like sticker ideas for ETH Denver, and then we could have like some really cool, like pick out some really cool entries and then print those off. We might have enough time for that, I think. I don't
Yeah,
really know how long it takes to make stickers, but
I would also suggest that because we're going to be out there kind of repping fake gotchis also, we should ask the team because I know they do their own like physical things, the physical items. Can we get some of those fake gotchi pieces printed as stickers to hand those out? Because we didn't do that. We handed out the fake gotchi logo, but if we can hand out like Soju's bubble tea, as a sticker, people would love that. And it's like something
yeah.
like point towards the website that's not going to be, it makes it easier to show.
Oh, that's cool.
I also want it on like, my computer.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. Fake gotchi printed as stickers. We also talked about some soulmate origin cards. Maybe bringing some of those out. I know Lost Local was talking about that. And actually,
Less of them, not as many as in Miami, because we had like 500. I don't know. Zombie, how many did you give away?
okay, so Lost Local had a really interesting idea for Soulmate Origins here. Because we were doing a hackathon, we could actually make the invitation to the hackathon a Soulmate Origin card. And now you're getting like, it's just a really cool, I'd imagine some devs would be like really intrigued by this, Soulmate Origin like invitation to a hackathon. So that could be one way to do it. Instead of actually giving out a fake gotchi Soulmate Origin card, it's actually like it's a physical, but also like a POAP invitation to the event.
Question, because I have the cards. I have like 100 of them in my house. And the one criticism that I saw, even for myself, is they're hard to scan on your phone, especially if you don't have like the internet connection. Do we know if the Soul-Made Origin cards come in any other format, like something with a QR code that's easier for the end user to just scan and get there?
Hmm.
Because like the put on your screen and swipe. I mean, personally, my screen's cracked, so it's a nightmare. But I watched many people try and fail. Like we shot video of people trying and failing. So
Oh,
I just wonder if there's an easier way, like, because the technology's great, but if actually getting to the POAP was a little simpler, I think it would work very well.
yeah, you make a good point because I wouldn't want to like give this out to a dev that's like, oh shit, this is cool, and then they're playing around with it for 5 minutes and just like give up because it's too frustrating, and now we just lost somebody potentially that could have been in. You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah, Phase, good point, man. Stay safe, use burner phones. Yeah, I don't. I personally don't have any like crypto stuff on my phone, uh, but I know some people do. There's definitely some like precautions we could take though, for sure. Yeah, soulmate origin cards. Okay, so we kind of fleshed out the idea here behind actually being at the event. We should another thing I got to look at is the ETH Denver like speaker schedule or event schedule out already for like the agenda of what's going to be going on for the 9 days, or is it more like you just kind of walk around and you check out the different venues and it's just more like how is it organized essentially is what I'm trying to understand. Because like if there's specific places we should be targeting on certain days, like I'd love to hit up like the Polygon booth during a really like relevant conversation and then do some follow up afterwards with the devs that are interested in Polygon because they attended the event, or like Chainlink or something that's relevant to Aavegotchi. We should definitely be hitting those events up.
Well, I could say I know I don't think the speakers are set because Hernani's applying right now. Like I helped him with a video earlier in the week for his applications. So, I mean, that being said, he might be a good resource to find out more information and also to coordinate because like Orium, one of our partners and investors is Polygon. So, like, we do tend to talk to them. Not me personally, I wish I would, but just in general. So that might be useful because he's going to be on the ground there in ETH Denver as well, at least for a few days.
Okay, that's a good point. And he said he's gonna be a speaker there, so that's gonna be really interesting. I'd love to know like the Polygon connections and the Chainlink connections, so we can kind of be around in that general vicinity. Even when Hernani's doing his speech, we should try and be around in that general vicinity and figure out, just post up somewhere and maybe try and make some connections. But Zombie, you made a really good point earlier when we were talking. We shouldn't be like shilly, you know what I mean? We shouldn't be like trying to push every like the project in people's faces. I think we should really try and like do some just like try and make some IRL connections and then like follow up with, hey, by the way, I mean it's gonna be pretty obvious if we're wearing Aavegotchi gear, like it's gonna come up. And so I think yeah.
I'll say that in New York, there was a lot of that from the team. Like that's I use the example because I totally agree with you. When I used to be a dog walker, I would never tell the other people like when I'm walking people's dogs and I run into people walking their own dogs, I would never tell them I was a dog walker because they would instantly know I'm trying to get their business. So I would go literally months, sometimes even longer years, just speaking to these people, and eventually they figure out that I'm actually not the dog owner, and those people were more likely to hire me because I didn't show the agenda. So when we're in these kind of events, it's it's just better to be chill. It will naturally come up because people talk about it. But I remember seeing people on the team where it was like almost like robots. Like every time they walked up to somebody, they started giving the full like Gotchi verse Bible shill. Like the full like, here's the pill, eat it immediately. And we want to get there, but we got to do it organically. I think that's where visual, like our marketing will matter. We have a cool, dope looking shirt, a cool hat. If we have some kind of banners and shit that we can walk around with, we will be able to generate a lot of content on our own because we're going to have multiple hosts. So we don't even really have to be in people's face. We just have to have fun and document that and, network through that.
I think if there was something, sorry, I, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we want to avoid that. We don't want to have that impression. Smoke screens. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, I was just gonna say, I think the soft approach is definitely, important. But a little bit of, I don't know, something not pricey, like the stickers, collateral, something that we can pass on to people that are interested. Um, being, have been to a couple of trade shows, and usually a lot of the people attend trade shows, and they don't stop at the booths or gather all the info, but they'll grab collateral. They'll grab a link to a website or where you can find out more about the product or the project. I think if we have something, even I don't know, a little pamphlet or a little brochure or a little sticker, a Aavegotchi sticker with the link to our website, where you can actually, find out what we are all about, and I don't know, something like that. I think might
I
help.
100% agree. In New York and Miami to a lesser extent because we had the soulmate origin cards. In New York, we had tons of stickers. We had godlike stickers where there were only like a limited amount. We had tons of shirts and actual physical merch, but we didn't have much like documentation in the form of pamphlets or something cool that you could take home. Like when I went to the fake rares gallery, I got all these crazy ass stickers, but a lot of them had information on the back of them or on like in the sticker itself telling me more about the artist and stuff like that. And I still have all that stuff. So I definitely agree. We should definitely look at that low hanging fruit stuff that we can willingly give away like hotcakes, stuff that's going to be appealing. Like I said, maybe fake gotchi work, and that we can draw people to come back and look at this later after we're done with our interaction.
I was just getting some of that down. Great ideas.
Yeah, just basically you get a postcard, you get a postcard. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. I like humble beggar's point there too. Let's do a good job with the merch up front, and then that'll speak for itself, and we won't have to push as hard on the. We'll let them come to us. Let them get interested in what we're wearing, what we're representing, and let them initiate that. And then happy to give them. And we can even talk about like what are we going to talk about? Like if someone comes up to you and talks to you about hey, or they notice your shirt that you're wearing, this they say, hey, what the heck is that? Like what's the pitch? We don't want to like throw everything at them, but we want to throw like the essential information that'll get their curiosity, and maybe have it in a way that it's curated for that crowd. You know what I mean? Like they might be interested in the technical aspect.
See, I'd be like, it's the greatest thing that's going to happen in your life right now. Something like over the top, but like really like, huh? Like,
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I mean, there's so many aspects of our ecosystem. If someone came to you at the event and was like, "Hey, what's this Aavegotchi thing? Are we talking about Aavegotchi? Are we talking about the Gotchiverse and getting the fake Gotchis and all that?" We don't want to inundate people, but give them enough that they're curious to look into, like you said, smoke screens, the resources, the pamphlets, the QR codes to the website, all that stuff.
I would also say, since we're at Eve Denver, it's the audience we're talking to, right? So if we're dealing with devs, what's the appeal of Aavegotchi to people who want to, work and do dev work within it? It's the open source protocol. So maybe that's the pitch. Like, what is Aavegotchi? It's an open source gaming protocol. So we're open. We want people to come in and develop within our ecosystem.
Yeah, I think that's huge. I think that's a big part of it. And when I told Jesse, like, hey, I noticed that Eat Denver is like very dev heavy. Like they get a lot of technically inclined people going to this event, whereas you might not find that with NFT NYC, or you might not find that at Art Basel. It's a different crowd, and so we have an opportunity to actually like bring in some builders onto the protocol that actually create something or will want to create something. And so this kind of brings me to the second half of our whole proposal here, is to actually have a something for the devs to come join us. Come join us after the event. There's a post-event thing happening in our world. I think that's going to be another big marketing opportunity here, is to say, hey, look, you're a dev. We've had an interesting conversation. I'm an Aavegotchi ambassador. We're doing this like 4-week hackathon after Eat Denver. We would love to have you come join us. We have like a 30,000 ghost to 40,000 ghost prize pool, and we're gonna be like doing coverage throughout the week, and we have a whole community that's really interested in people building really cool things on our protocol. And so I think that the hackathon might be like marketing in itself. It also shows that we take things seriously. Like we take our, we're not like, how do I say this? We're not like just like a group of people with like PFPs. Like there's more to it than this. There's actually people building on this protocol. And so I don't know if there's a lot of devs that like are aware that there is a group like that in specifically like the crypto gaming space. So let me just start this up here.
I was going to chime in and say we should also think of some marketing material, maybe video or something that also like alludes, like I'm thinking specifically for the coffee event for these devs, where we like, some kind of summary video about the wins we have had in this space, ideally mostly the game jam. Like we've done this before and look at what's come out of it. So kind of like, hey, come here and play in our garden. This is what's around and available.
Yeah, and kind of talk about the games.
Like something very simple.
Yeah. And then do you think we should have like some kind of a flyer or a pamphlet or something, or even a card that has some of the details of the hackathon where someone could just scan a QR code and it takes them to like a tally form or something? Like, do you think that's maybe something we need?
I think that would be good. Something that we can give out that's like, bam, this is what it is. But I think we should also, whatever, because Jesse has mentioned this before, and more for fake gotchis, and we're thinking about regular, like, Aavegotchi, but maybe in our branding and the stuff we're pushing people, like, instead of pushing them to a website, we should be pushing them to our social. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Medium to find out our information's posted there, as opposed to giving them an easy out. Let them follow and, at least step into the rabbit hole, right?
To our socials. Yeah. No, this is a great point.
That should be a main mission as we move around in this. It's not only we're looking to network and onboard like, talent, but as we talk to people and network, we should be pushing them to follow us both on Fake Gotchis and GMI and Aavegotchi.
100% agree. Okay. Do you think we should have like our own cards made up? Like, are you planning to have like some sort of like no futuristic Music City Gotcha Gang card, or do you think we should be handing out some GMI cards? I think we can hand out some GMI ones. Maybe that might be good for all of our exposure since we're associated. I don't know.
That's. I think we could do it. I mean, personally, when I go, I have to update my card, but when I've gone to the other events, I carry my card.
Okay.
Yeah, which has my social and my phone number, my email. But that's like also that one says like I'm a digital art flipper or some shit, photographer. Doesn't really go into detail about Aavegotchi. It's more like a cool Aavegotchi theme card. But it wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't know. We have what the dates are from the 24th to the 5th, right? 24th of February to the 5th of March. We are what day is today? The 6th or the 7th of January. So we have roughly 6-7 weeks. Can you get GMI cards printed in 6 or 7 weeks and delivered?
I think it's reasonable if like one of us handle it locally. Like I know there's a local place where I could get some cards printed off pretty easily, quickly.
Yeah, I mean, if you could do that, and it's like reasonable, I don't see why not.
I'm gonna get some of my SBF cards printed off, like the fake gotchi ones, and then I'll have my contact information on the back. That's what I think I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
because if I
oh, sorry,
I was gonna go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say if I'm gonna make GMI cards, I might as well print off some fake gotcha or SBF ones too.
I was gonna say we should make just a side project. This isn't part of the budget. for the DAO. But we should probably make some GMI like marketing stuff as well, like something that points people to our Twitch, to our whatever website for the merch, that kind of stuff.
I like that idea. Push to Twitch, storefront, and probably even Discord. Like if there's some way to, like, we could make a card that just has like the QR code for the Discord that says GMI on it, and when you scan the QR code, you can just add your, it'd be an easy way to get people into our Discord quickly. I think that's possible. I've done that before with my phone, like adding a Discord just through a QR code. So we got that. Q doing networking. What else? Pushing people to our socials. I think that's the gist of it there. What are seasoning postcards? Zombie, you said seasoning postcard. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like oregano or something, like some thyme, some seasoning.
I like the idea of doing a lone raffle and sus postcard as well. Yeah, see, we should all bring something like small and unique like that to like shill our own stuff as well. I think it'd be kind of unique to say, hey, look, we're GMI, but also we're doing like our own like we have our own shows, we have our own content, like come check us out. I think we should try and get exposure for ourselves, but also for GMI, like try and do everything together. But you're a blockchain race car driver. Is it a purple jumpsuit? Is it a purple jumpsuit? That would be dope. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. You got to just have your own leg bag. Oh, yeah. I like the cosmic spaghetti postcards. Those are cool. Okay, so that it seems like we've fleshed out the idea of being at Denver. I think as we get closer, we can kind of plan out the actual specific like venues where we want to post up at specific times. But like the idea is coming together here pretty quickly. Like I think we started talking about this like 3 or 4 days ago. So we've made like decent progress for just like getting on it just a couple days ago. And the one part where we could use some more where we could use a little more brainstorming is the hackathon. I know we should do a hackathon and it is a good idea, but like how, like in everyone's opinion here, how do you think we should like go about doing an Aavegotchi hackathon? And do you guys remember how the other one shook out? Do you have anything we could have done better? Kind of looking for your feedback, and then see if we can like put something together, at least loosely. Yeah, I feel you. So the way Chainlink does their build-a-thons is they give you a period to sign up. So we could do like a 1 week sign up period after Eat Denver, or 2 week sign up period after Eat Denver, where people could actually sign up, get registered. There's a questionnaire. I'll try and figure out I'll try and see if I can dig up the questionnaire. I've been in 2 Chainlink hackathons myself. Never really like built anything significant, but it was interesting just to get that educational experience and see. Oh yeah, hardcore. Yeah, hardcore would know. Should probably, let's just note that down. Connect with hardcore. On hackathon. Yeah, so the way the Chainlink one works is you sign up, there's a sign up period, and then you kick off, and it starts with a kind of like a guild summit, honestly. It feels like a guild summit. It's like there's a keynote speech, there's like a little bit of a celebration, and then you go right off into it after that, and people start building, and then from that point on, they got 4 weeks. I think it's 4 weeks to put something together, and it can't be something that you've already been working on. So it has to be a brand new project. And it's you whatever project you signed up for. So like when you signed up to actually get into the hackathon, you gotta like dump all these details in about like what kind of project you want to build, who your team is, and like all these things. And then so you build throughout the 4 weeks, and then at the end of 4 weeks, there's another big ceremony where people there's like some sort of like judging that happens, like scorekeeping, and then there's like, of course, the winners are announced. The winners of the hackathon are announced. Different categories for each thing. So we could we could have categories. We could have different categories for the hackathon, and so we could do like I don't know, like a gaming. We could do like a gaming category. That could be one. Gaming category.
Let me ask, what's the expected prize pool for this? Because if we do various categories, we're gonna have to, we're gonna run out of money pretty quickly.
Yeah, I feel like we could do some basic categories. Like we could do like gaming, I think would be one, and then the other one could be like analytics, or like some sort of an analytics step.
Yeah, because my question, I guess, then is, we should ask this tomorrow when we're with Coder Dan and or Jesse. Like, how many entries did they have for just the game jam? I think they gave away like 10,000 or 5,000 bucks or Ghost. How many entries they had, and then based on that number of entries, how many actual entries made it to the end? I know they picked 10 winners. How many actually made it all the way to the end? Based on those numbers, then it'll be easier to extrapolate, because we're going to be in a dev heavy center. But if we have 3 or 4 categories, we might need to have like, 30, 40 people participate, just based anecdotally on what I think. This has no, like, I don't actually know.
Yeah, I mean, imagine we just blow it out of the water and get like 100 or 200. That's just it, right? At that point, we're like, okay, well, maybe we might need to rethink our budget. But I think the idea here is basically to have like a contingent plan on a predetermined agreement with the DAO that basically we can go around, and we can go around at the venue and actually invite people to this thing, knowing that the funds are going to be there, and have a minimum amount that the DAO has already agreed on. So let's say the minimum amount, like you say, is $10,000-$15,000, but then we get 200 devs that sign. I'm just making up numbers too, but let's say we get like 200 devs that are actually interested in this. Then we can go back to the DAO and say, hey, look, this actually is going to get a lot of attention. Maybe we might want to do like a 30K or 40K or whatever.
Well,
So
what I mean more so is like how many prizes would we give away across say 3 categories? I think in the last one we did 10 for the one category. Would we give away 30 prizes? That's what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Yeah, because then that 1,000 gets whittled down very quickly.
it
Whereas
does.
say if we're only doing 3 categories, maybe we only give away 3 prizes per category to still keep it in balance.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I think it's a good idea to have different categories, so not everybody's going to make a game, or I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just trying to like gather feedback on this and see what people think. In my opinion, having like maybe 2 to 3 categories would seem reasonable, and then do like the top three. The top three would be like the heaviest prizes, and then they have a long tail where maybe the top top 5 to 8 people will get something.
Yeah, I like the categories thing. I think what we should do tomorrow and on Sunday is to ask Coder Dan and Jesse what is Pixelcraft looking for to come out of like in terms of like dev talent, what kind of categories matter to them and their goals, and then ultimately what is the DAO looking for? If everybody in the DAO is like, let's look for a tax application so we can all figure this out and not end up in jail, then like then we know that's a category that like definitely should be in there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So, what sort of categories would Pixelcraft want? What sort? Yeah. So, like, what sort of categories would Pixelcraft want, and what sort of like dApps or games would maybe the DAO want to see come out of this? So we'll get some answers here, like tomorrow and Sunday. So that'll give us some more reference point to like plan the hackathon portion of it out. But we definitely have a lot more time on the hackathon than the Eat Denver. Like Eat Denver, we got 6 weeks. The hackathon, we probably have. Well, no, sorry. Eat Denver, we probably have about 3 to 4 weeks of planning because we gotta like get all our shit together before that. But for the hackathon, we got like a solid like up pretty much right up until Eat Denver. We can plan out the details of that because until we actually make the announcements or the shills, it's not really going to matter. So, what is the purpose of the hackathon? And then the last point that you made there was the prize pool. Does anybody else have anything to add to this? Is there something that we were talking about you might want to add to? I think this idea is coming together here pretty good. I personally, I think we're at a t-shirt cannon. All right, I'm good with that. Aavegotchi flamethrower. But honestly, that point you made about the marketing, man, I think that's like if we can figure that out well beforehand and have something to represent ourselves, it's gonna save us a whole lot from like trying to push this in people's faces. It's just gonna be noticed. So
Yeah, I would love if we could do like in New York they had some one of one like merch. Like I have the polo shirt, Sir Linkius got the hoodie which went to Dr. Wagme. It'd be really cool if like we can get some one of one merch that we can have there live with us and that they can run a GBM off of. And then, we can make an event out of it, make it, like show who wins or whatever and then have it shipped to them.
that's a cool idea. 101 merch.
Yeah, we can
And
do
this
it live during the cafe. Like in the cafe, if you're in the cafe, or, you can be outside of the cafe, but we encourage people to take part in this silent GBM auction for some one of one shit. Like really cool, like something, I don't know. Just something sentimental or value, people can find value in.
like an Aavegotchi cowboy hat. We should get like the actual 10-gallon hat made up as an Aavegotchi hat.
Yeah.
Before I got something. Uh, you know how on Aavegotchi on the main page we got a Quick Swap, we got Uniswap, Crypto.com, Kraken, Binance. I don't know if any of them, you know, if there's going to be categories or, but the more I think about what we offer as a project, you know, the metaverse and the DeFi system that we have and the Aavegotchi. I mean, there's so much and so many other affiliates that we can kind of like associate with, you know, and we are already part of them, or they're part of us.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're
Ghost,
saying.
Ghost, Ghost itself, you know, just the token itself just went public on what on Coinbase, or I mean, it got approved to be sold on Coinbase. So that's huge, you know, for the American market, you know. So there's some things, you know, just brainstorming, guys. So you guys pick it up from there, and you guys, you know, to see if there's anything there that we could use, you know. So
Absolutely. No, I think there is something there. I think it's a good idea at this event while we're talking to people to actually associate with some of these events. Like, hey, you know, we just got listed on Coinbase. We're really excited about that, or you know, like quick swap partnerships or what have you. I think would be really good to highlight that. And then the other thing that I just thought of was Lens and Zombie. Are you going to be doing anything for Lens at ETH Denver? Are they going to be there? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling big time FOMO. Big time. Maybe next year. I know it.
That's how I felt about missing out at Art Basel. I was like, dang, I wish I could have gone.
If you bring Bob, you gotta bring him wearing a GMI cape.
Oh shit. Absolutely.
I think I seen dogs at the Abbott rave, so we're going to the Abbott rave, so you can bring your dog, I think.
Nice. Are they gonna be at ETH Denver? That would be nuts. Oh shit. Dude, that's nuts. I've seen like setups of like their raves and it blows my mind sometimes. Some of those parties. Yeah, we will be doing like a part. We will be doing there'll be like a party night or club night with the Cryptoon Goons. I think Lost Locals trying to arrange something where we'll just like pop into their venue and just hang out. It's gonna be good. Yeah, that's dope. That was a pretty sweet. Yeah, I saw a clip of that you put up there with you're wearing you know, your "This is fine, friends" shirt.
Yeah, you have to remember Yeah, I was gonna say it's a small world. So like, with Lost Local in New York, we went to the CyberKong's party. They actually did an airdrop of weed, like just gave everybody weed at the party. And I haven't seen these people since NFT NYC. And then we went to the CyberKong's party in Miami, and all of those people remembered me, and I was shocked because I was like, I've only met them once, and I recognized them, but I was like, yeah, this is such a small world that you're gonna meet all these connections, and everybody's gonna drag you around to the different parties. So like the point made earlier, like if you're just moving organically, you're gonna infiltrate and be able to network much more efficiently than just being a show machine.
Yeah, like we shouldn't try and be a bunch of like salesmen or businessmen at this place. It sounds like it's more of like like get to know people, like you say, making connections, networking, and through that, I think some really cool things could happen. But like I think the big pitch that we could bring with us that's not going to be like super pushy is like, hey, look, like based on our conversation here, like you sound like someone who might be interested in this hackathon that we're doing. Check it out. Just give them like a pamphlet or like a card or sticker, something small that they can take with them and think about it, and then we can open up our 2 week sign up period after, and then do its own, have our own like on like social media push for that afterwards, and try and get as many people in as possible. And let's not forget, we already have devs in Aavegotchi, so it's not like we're guaranteed to get at least a handful of entrants, but I think it's gonna be a lot more than that. I think we'll be quite surprised, but it's gonna be good for even everybody in Aavegotchi already building, for them to actually like compete, and we'll have some OGs in the race. But yeah, this is a great start, guys. I'm really stoked about this. I haven't done anything like this before, but I think all of us have to some degree like event experience or marketing experience, or just like general like vibes, community vibe, bringing the community vibe, gotcha gang vibe out to other communities. And so that's something we're like really like we could take this far, and yeah. It's all vibes. But let's talk about it more tomorrow at the hangout. Let's get the good vibes. We literally have good vibes in this chat right now. Like you can't have any more good vibes than that. Yeah, humble beggar, go ahead. Absolutely.
Hey, what's going on? I was thinking about ETH Denver, and I was thinking that what if everybody was like assigned a specific item from the bazaar, right? Like if you go to the Aavegotchi bazaar, you have portals, you have gotchis, you have wearables, you have fake gotchis. There's a whole bunch of different things, and so instead of everybody going like this idea of like I need to somehow explain the entire ecosystem to everybody. I just thought it would be cool if like one person was going in there. If I get into it, and they want me to take them deep under and explain Aavegotchi, I'll give them the fake gotchis. Somebody else can talk about wearables. Somebody else can talk about portals. Just an idea to put out there.
Oh, this is a good idea. I'm writing it down actually. Assigning categories, discussion categories, I guess you could call it discussion categories for each. So it's kind of like a predetermined agreement that we would have with everybody going to the thing. Like, hey, if someone's approaching you, like if you guys get into a conversation about Aavegotchi, maybe you're going to be talking about portals, you might be talking about the smart contracts, you might be talking about fake gotchis, and just so we're not all talking about the same thing. Could be it could be interesting for sure. I'm just going to write that one down. The sound discussion for each yeah, overall, just some really great ideas here, and we'll continue fleshing this out. I think we're really close on the actual, like the proposal. I'm gonna try. We're gonna discuss it tomorrow. I'll try and get the proposal out shortly after the hangout, and then at least so we can secure our funding, right? Because we'll have to do a sig prop, and then that'll take like whatever 5 days or something like that, and then we do a core prop. So from the time that we actually publish it, will take probably another 5 to 10 days at least to secure funding for the event. So let's figure that out. Let's figure that part out first. Let's get that secured, and then after that we can we'll talk about the hackathon tomorrow, but we should continue fleshing that idea out a bit more till we actually. I'll talk to Hardcore. That was a good idea. Talk to Hardcore and see if we can get some more specifics on how we might want to do this. But this was a great meeting. Appreciate like everybody coming out to the first fireside chat, and really looking forward to starting out this 2023 year with basically two brand new podcasts. You guys are doing ZombieShepherd. You guys are doing Touch Grass, the Lens podcast, and then No Futuristic and we're starting our podcast called GMI Block Party every Friday night, which will be replacing District 420. And so yeah, that's gonna be really dope. I'm looking forward to that. And then also like our in real life presence is gonna be it's gonna be huge. So really excited, grateful to have everybody here coming to these meetings, and let's get it. This is like, I'm so hyped for this year. This is gonna be our year. Like I said last year, this is like the year of professionalism. This is like when we all kind of flourish in our roles. Last year was seemed like very experimental. We're all trying to figure out what the fuck we were trying to do here, and now it seems like we have more of a concrete idea of where we each stand and what we want to contribute to the ecosystem. So like, let's just like pursue it and support each other in that. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. You guys got Z-Fi, so you just unmuted.
Oh, I was just gonna put an amen on that. That's all.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'll put an amen on that also. So yeah, we'll see you again next we'll see you tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow morning, 2 p.m. UTC. And of course we have our Sunday DAO meetings as well, same time, 2 p.m. UTC. And yeah, let's do this. That's all I got.
Peace, friends.
Later, friends. We'll see you tomorrow.
GN.
GN.